Hello and welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the various types of stain that you can buy in a hardware store in Japan, as well as begin the renovation of my hallway. I'm going to create a railing that will go on top of the wall that I demolished earlier, as well as tear down the ceilings here in this part of the house. So, let's get started. Join me on my adventure to renovate an old house in Japan. There are dozens of types of stains in the Japanese market. I have had really good experiences and really bad ones. Let's take a look at some different products, some I used this episode, and some that I will show in the future and see how they compare. Usually the ones that come in a bottle, you can just shake. And the ones that come in a tin, you have to stir very well. All the stains will be one coat and hand rubbed with a cloth. Understandably, they are different colors, but you can see how their coverage is and their ability or inability to bring out the grain in the wood is. This one has the strongest color pigments. This one is a little translucent and weak. This one is very dull in color. The most translucent of the bunch. This one has strong color pigments as well. This one is the most balanced, surprisingly. Which do you like best? I have my favorites. I'll mention which ones I like in the order from best to worst in the comments below. There is a lot of work ahead to make this wall I opened have a finished look. I'll start by creating a railing to go over the sunakabe wall. I measured, cut, and then laid the boards on the wall to make sure they fit. I still have a lot of debris on the floor. Ow. I always avoid cleaning up. Time to go, you stupid. But it's in my way now. I hate having to constantly step over things. Stupid. Cleaning never ends. This product was something I bought because I thought the color matched so well with my wood. Don't be in a rush to buy something just because the color matches. I ended up hating the final result. It doesn't look bad here, but you'll see it compared to another stain I used instead. While I contemplate using this stain on the railing, I cleaned the wood beams. Cleaning never ends. I will have to fill these holes left from the sand wall wood framing and move the light switch out of the way. I took some of the wood that was in the wall and lodged it into the holes to fill them. There is a much better method than this, and I learned it later on. I will show in future episodes some of the new methods I learned. What I did here was add wood glue to the wood that I inserted into the holes, and then I filled the rest with wood filler. The wood filler was a pain. It dries and shrinks very slowly, so it takes a few times to fill it and to let it dry and to fill it again. I decided that I didn't like the color of the railings. I have more wood, so I'm cutting new rails instead of sanding down the old ones. I hate sanding as well. I did sand down the edges to round them out. They are nice and smooth and round instead of pointed. I'm using the Wood Love stain on these boards. You can see the difference in the way it stains. Here are the boards for comparison. The first board I stained on top and the new boards on the bottom. It's so much better. I will still use the old boards for the top of the wall. I stained over the old stain with the Wood Love product just to see if it would improve. Remarkably, they came out much better. They have a similar hue and look to them as the Wood Love boards. They just are missing a little bit of the wood grain and knots that you can see in the Wood Love stain. Otherwise, they look good and they match well, and I can use them like this instead of having to sand them down and stain them again. Thank goodness. I hate sanding. I need to prepare the wall a little more to receive the railing. It's all aligned to fit the wood beam. I know, this part of the wall looks very bad, but I'm going to get to this area a little later. Soon I'm going to show you what I did to repair this part of the wall that was severely damaged. It's a neat little trick that I think worked very well, but not yet. I am using metal brackets to install the railing to the wall. I'll give it more support on both sides. Make sure your beam is level and screw it in. Always pre-drill your holes. I needed help sanding. Sanding really sucks, and I'm not doing this by hand anymore. Sand down the wood fillers smooth, and we are ready to stain the wood pillars. You can see where the sand wall used to be, it's much lighter in the center. I will have to sand everything down so it will stain evenly. I'm using another new brand of stain. I'm feeling very lucky today, and I hope this stain will not let me down. This stain wasn't bad, it just took many coats to actually cover the wood decently. It's very translucent. I don't have access to better stains in the countryside, and I didn't feel like waiting. But first, it's that time again. Time to take down more ceilings. I know, the heating cost, the energy costs. I'm going to do my best to insulate the ceiling, and hopefully I will have more to report soon. Honestly speaking, the house isn't that big, and the ceiling area isn't that tall. Besides, I'm already committed. The ceiling framing in this area is much more complex than the previous rooms. There are also a lot of loose electrical wires. They will have to be cleaned up and rewired later. You can see some old relics of the prayers done on the house. This one is called hamayumi. It's a decorative bow and arrow. It's a Shinto practice used to ward off evil spirits. It's a little broken now. Maybe that's why it's not working so well? This is called hegushi. It's a staff to pray for prosperity of one's household. And the sandals are known as owaraji, used to ward off evil spirits as well. People brought straw sandals as offerings to temples, hoping to have healthy feet and to receive travel protection. The demolition of the ceiling started with pulling down these boards. Are they made of felt? Cardboard? They just peel right off. Not exactly the finest material. The ceiling tiles just pulled off by hand with little force. And then there's that big creepy beehive again. But let's take a moment to admire its vast ginormity and splendor. What happened to this once advanced and prosperous hive? The mystery may never be solved. I know what happened. Summer heat. It's too bloody hot. I used the reciprocating saw to chew through the wood framing. I brought it down in large chunks. That took more effort than I realized. But in the end, it's the cleanup that's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. I was able to take down the hallway panels and wood structure. I exposed the ceiling on that area. It's something that I was really not looking forward to and trying my hardest to avoid. Peeling these off, I was quite happy actually, because they were just peeling off like, you know, like somebody put pancakes up. You know, the ceiling was made out of pancakes, it just tore right out. I was like, wow, this is too easy. So I was really happy. I thought, okay, this is gonna be great. But as I peeled it off, I realized, yeah, there was this big network of wood framing that was really just meticulously, I think, put into place. And it's one of those things where you look at this board, right? It's so cheap, so cheap. It's such a crappy, nasty board for a ceiling. There's a little wedge here that gets wedged into the wood. So basically, it sits like this, and then there's a piece of wood underneath, and then there's another piece of wood on top that sandwiches it. So there's a little lip that goes out this way, and this part here is the only part exposed. There's a lot of work that goes into actually installing these panels, but they're ugly, and the material is crap. It's literally like foam. Just with my knee, just lightly press, and then boom. Just like that, it breaks. And this part here, that it was white at one point, but then, you know, as it aged, it turned like this really nasty brown. Really nasty brown. So I don't know if you could actually go in there and paint it, maybe. It must have been like 200 pounds of wood frame to hang this up. This doesn't weigh anything, so why would you go through all that trouble to create all that framing when this piece just weighs just an ounce, you know? It's just super light, you know? And so then I was kind of upset by that, because then I had a lot of chopping, a lot of sawing, and a lot of pulling out nails. And the nails that they were using were like these like railroad nails. They're ridiculous how big they are compared to my hand. And then they're all bent because I couldn't pull them out. I would just, and they would just kind of half pull out, and then they would just start bending. Then it turned out that just the wood would break before the actual nail would give. They're just, so if you look on the actual framing right now, a lot of these nails are still stuck to the frame because the wood would just snap before the nail would give. It just made the process all that much harder. I tell myself, just get it done. And when it's done, it's done. You know, clean up all this mess, and we're golden.